already have a problem with inflammation. The number one selling drug on the planet is an anti-inflammatory. And when your fat cell becomes inflamed, that can produce insulin resistance. And then also at the heart of this inflammation, we have a lot of associated mitochondrial dysfunction. The majority of illnesses and disease are in mitochondrial origin. Now I'll just show you two graphs right here. The top graph is the omega-6 fatty acids. Okay. The bottom graph is the omega-3 fatty acids. As you can see, the trend for omega-3 is not nearly as high as omega-6. I'm going to show you this graph right here. If you look at heart disease going up, and look at saturated fat right in the center there, that is not spiking parallel with seed oils. So in other words, we've replaced our saturated fats with seed oils with this false idea that the saturated fats are the problem and the unsaturated fats are the solution. Unsaturated fats do have the capacity to lower cholesterol, but they're not heart protective. There's a lot of data that indicates that these highly processed industrial seed oils create a lot of damage at the cellular level. You can see total meat, okay? And you can also see over time, red meat is not really a big spike, but poultry is. Interesting. So the big spike in meat is really chicken, which is very high in omega-6 fatty acids. If you're doing grass-fed meats, it's going to be very low in this omega-6 fatty acid. In this graph right here, we have cardiovascular deaths correlate more with vegetable oils than it does with sugar. Seed oils are in so many different foods, and it's definitely part of pretty much every single ultra-processed food, aka junk foods, you know. A lot of times people think that ultra-processed foods are just, saturated fats. Well, the only saturated fats in these ultra-processed foods is palm oil in very small amounts. I mean, really no one's talking about the seed oils in these ultra-processed foods, the unsaturated fatty acids, which are very unstable. That's enough for omega-6 fatty acids. Now, what about omega-3 fatty acids? Where do we get that? We get it from fish. Cod liver oil. Cod liver has probably the most omega-3 fatty acids, sardines, and wild-caught shellfish. But the animals that consume these grains, like pigs and chickens and even the grain-fed beef, are much higher in omega-6 fatty acids. So this is one reason why a lot of people are turning to grass-fed, grass-finished beef, okay? Because it's going to contribute to the omega-3 fatty acids. People are doing more and more fish, which is also going to contribute. Now, when we have this omega-6 fatty acid and omega-3 fatty acid, they go through a series of pathways to be able to turn into certain compounds that benefit our bodies, and the enzymes that allow this biochemical conversions are shared by both the omega-6 and omega-3. In other words, both of these oils compete with each other. And so if there's any problem in this biochemical pathway, because maybe we are missing cofactors, then you're going to get dysfunctional fats. You're not going to get the benefit of the omega-3, and we're not going to be able to use some of these oils. You're going to be able to utilize more of the benefits of these essential fatty acids and not have a dysfunctional problem with them. Primarily, we have like EPA and DHA. EPA is more for inflammation. DHA is really important in cognitive function, attention, focus, learning, and that's going to come from fatty fish and fish oil. Now, there's also a precursor that turns into EPA. That's called ALA. Sometimes you'll see in various articles that, consume more flax and chia seed and walnuts if you want to get more omega-3 fatty acids.
想知更多，記得留意我 Facebook 啦。多謝各位，拜拜。